space? Those are the questions we must answer with our increases in capability.
Cameron is also calling for a rapid response force that can deploy anywhere in the world in 2 to 5 days. An American doctor infected with Ebola is en route to the U.S. from Liberia. As NPR's Jason Beaubien reports, he's being medevaced to the University of Nebraska in Omaha for special care.
Dr. Rick Saker will be treated at a biocontainment unit at the Nebraska Medical Center. He's the third American missionary to be infected with Ebola in this outbreak, all of them at the Elwa Hospital in Monrovia, Liberia. Saker was serving as a general physician at the facility, the missionary aid group SIM. He wasn't directly treating Ebola patients. It's unclear how he contracted the potentially fatal virus. Saker is being airlifted out of Liberia in a specially equipped chartered plane. 2 other American missionaries with Ebola were brought back to Atlanta last month for treatment, both fully recovered. Jason Beaubien, NPR News.
Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell is appealing yesterday's conviction by a federal jury. Michael Pope of member station WAMU reports from Richmond.
The team of lawyers working for Bob McDonnell and Marie McDonnell say they're ready to appeal the convictions. White-collar defense attorney Michael Levy says any appeal is likely to focus on the jury instructions and if there was a quid pro quo.
The real issue on appeal is going to be whether or not the judge's instructions with respect to the quo in this case, the thing that was given in exchange for those gifts and loans, is legally sufficient to establish the offenses that they were charged with.
The McDonnells have been convicted of accepting more than $150,000 in gifts and loans from a wealthy Virginia businessman in exchange for promoting his products. For NPR News, I'm Michael Pope, Richmond.
2 Bitcoin businessmen have pleaded guilty in federal court to allowing $1 million of the online currency to be sent to the black market website Silk Road. It's a site where users could anonymously buy and sell drugs and other contraband. The 2 businessmen face up to 5 years in prison for knowingly operating an unlicensed money transmitting business that funneled money to an illegal enterprise. This is NPR. Some of this country's most respected comedians are paying tribute to Joan Rivers, who died yesterday at the age of 81. She's considered a pioneer for women in stand-up comedy. But as NPR's Netta Ulaby reports, Rivers was also an author, producer, and the first woman to host a late-night talk show.
Joan Rivers fought her way up the comedy food chain with brutal self-deprecation.
You don't know, I was 28 before I got married and desperate. I was such a dog. To get me down the aisle, they threw a bone. You know what I'm saying?
Throughout her 5-decade-long career, she applied that lacerating wit towards everyone from Anne Frank to celebrities who annoyed her for being badly dressed. Joan Rivers traversed much of television history. In 1965, she got her big break on The Tonight Show and later subbed for Johnny Carson. She hosted her own talk shows, praised reality television, and starred in her own web-only series. Rivers' ferocious work ethic compensated, she said, for her life's many conflicts and tragedies, including her husband's suicide. Rivers died in Manhattan after going into cardiac arrest during a medical procedure last week. Netta Ulaby, NPR News. A public service will be held this afternoon at a South Florida temple for freelance journalist Steven Sotloff. He was beheaded by Islamic State militants in Syria this week. In Hawaii, lava from the Kilauea volcano is threatening some rural residents. Hawaii County Civil Defense Director says the lava flow has been advancing about 800 feet every day since early June.
Although there is an imminent threat to the communities, it's within close enough proximity that it's possible and probable that the community could be affected.
The flow could reach the nearest community within a week. I'm Barbara Klein, NPR News in Washington.
Support for NPR comes from CarMax, offering more than 35,000 used cars and trucks, online and in stores from coast to coast. Learn more at CarMax.com.
From WAVA News in Atlanta, good morning. I'm Steve Goss. It is 7:06. The city of East Point has reached an agreement with its ex-police chief on the terms of his abrupt resignation. That's as the city and 2 officers face a wrongful death lawsuit. WAVA's Michelle Roy reports.
According to the agreement, former police chief Woodrow Blue will get 3 months severance pay. He'll also be compensated for all unused vacation and sick time. In exchange, Blue's resignation will be characterized as for personal
also stipulates